Alicia, people are outraged, obviously, and this is Michigan Avenue, where just days ago there were literally militarized federal police force from the Department of Homeland Security marching up and down in tactical gear, masks, long rifles, down one of the sort of most prominent business districts. And we're going to walk as this protest goes in the United States of America. And I think people here feel that it's an outrage. It's a spontaneous protest. This was not long planned. This was called as an emergency protest over the course of the last couple of days. I talked to Governor Pritzker today, and Governor Pritzker said the same thing, essentially, that this is a unwanted, unwelcome incursion into the city when crime is not out of hand. Yes, there are violent pockets in Chicago, just like there are in any city, red or blue, and people are very, very angry. And I think we have a little bit of what Governor Pritzker had to say, and then maybe I'll talk to some people here. Take a look at what Governor Pritzker told me today.
This is the same guy, by the way, Greg Abbott, who last year complained when Joe Biden tried to call up his National Guard and actually wrote a letter, signed a letter opposing that. Now he's okay with it because why? He's a lackey of Donald Trump.
He's a lackey of Donald Trump, and he's talking about Greg Abbott, who's deploying the National Guard here. Let's see if we can talk to some people real quick. Can I ask you a quick question? We're live on MSNBC. And also, the Cubbies are playing tonight. Instead of being out for the Cubbies, you're here at the protest. What brings you out here? Let's walk in. We'll talk.
ICE is not welcome here. The National Guard is not welcome here. Crime is under control. Military occupation doesn't make our city safer. Resources and investment in community makes our city safer. And my family left Eastern Europe because of the pogroms, so I think community and collectivism would have helped at that time, so I think it's my job to protect other immigrants here.
What's your name?
Bree Kramer.
It's nice to meet you, Bree. I'm Jacob. It's nice to meet you. Thanks so much. That's just one viewpoint, guys. But literally, I'm not very good at estimating crowds, but this is a big crowd, and they are marching down Michigan Avenue. They just started to go on the move. Every sign tells a story. Hands Off Chicago is one that I'm looking at right now. People are not happy that Donald Trump and his federal agents have come here, and that the National Guard is staging outside of the city of Chicago and potentially coming in here as soon as tomorrow.
You know, Mary, can you just respond to what we're seeing in these images from Jacob? I have actually been very disturbed by all of this because I think that the deployment of troops is not about keeping people safe. ICE is not actually trying to go in there and attack the big immigration issue. They are literally rounding up people who have been here 20, 30 years. This is not about crime. This is about control. And I think what the government is demonstrating with this heavy-handedness is that the price of protest is surveillance in this country. They are trying to intimidate people by these shows of force. And the people in the streets of Chicago tonight are pushing back.
Yeah, and I have to say that young woman was incredibly well-spoken about what is at stake here. I could not have said it better myself. And Judge Immergut in Portland, in her issuing her temporary restraining order over the weekend against the federalization of the National Guard in Portland, she said this is a country of constitutional law, not martial law. And, you know, what we're seeing is very much against our whole history and tradition of a separation between our military and our domestic law enforcement. And I will also say, key here is it's unclear what the president is really saying the need is in Chicago. Is it for general crime control, which he had been saying for a while? Is it to protect ICE agents and the ICE facility and federal functions, which seems to be sort of the new excuse? But if he's using Title 10, Section 12406 to call up these National Guard, which is what he is using, federalize the National Guard, he needs to meet the predicates. And he needs to show that federal law can't be enforced with the regular forces. And this is needed. And there's been no such showing of that, right? Crime is down. ICE is still, as you just said, Simone, doing what ICE does. It is still out getting people, detaining them, and putting them into deportation proceedings. So where is there an inability to actually enforce federal law?
Yeah, that's an important question, Jacob, that I'm curious if you had an opportunity to sort of, even on background, get a sense from Governor Pritzker, this idea that there's no legal basis. This is a violation of the 10th Amendment on its face, just the sovereignty of individual states. Then we get into the individual rights of the citizens under the 14th, 5th Amendment, et cetera. How is the governor looking at this beyond what's happening around you right now, but then in the next few days and potential weeks ahead with this military presence from this administration?
I think that we have to check against the transcript of what he said to me today, but I recall him saying something about, in essence, he doesn't believe that the President of the United States respects the Constitution. So everything you just mentioned, Michael Steele, doesn't, I think, in Governor Pritzker's estimation, is not something that Donald Trump is concerned about. What Governor Pritzker said that he wanted to see as the main pushback, in addition to being in the courts, is the people being out in the streets. Let me see if I can get someone else. Pardon me. Can I ask you a quick question? We're live on. Okay, she doesn't want to say hi. Let me ask right here. Hey, we're live on MSNBC. Can I ask you a quick question? Sure. Governor Pritzker was telling me earlier today that he believes that one of the main ways to drive folks out that are here from the federal government, these troops and the DHS folks that are here, is to bring people to the streets. Is that why you came out? Because you believe that by you guys being out here, it'll force them out of Chicago?
I think it's one of the mechanisms we're going to have to use to push back against the regime that Trump has pushed upon us.
Have you ever done anything like this before?
Yeah. During the first administration. Here we are again.
So you're running it back.
I'm back.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm going to swing back around this way, guys, just so you can see it. But, I mean, that's the bottom line is that this is a people-powered movement to force. They did it in L.A. I was out on the streets of L.A. They're doing it in Chicago. And I have a feeling this will happen in every city Donald Trump comes to, because I can tell you what happens when you see a federalized, militarized police force on the streets of the city and people don't want them there. This is what happens.